everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Andrea and it's nice to have you guys here. So today I have a product review, and I don't usually do these kinds of videos. It's because I don't usually make these kinds of beauty purchases, and I felt like this warranted its own view, or its own video. It's the Ambient Lighting Edit palette. It's got a million names, I don't know. It's the Surreal Light Edit, which is supposed to mimic the magic hour of lighting, which is the last hour of sunlight. So it's got 5 different powders. I'm going to get to these in a second. A little bit of background. Hourglass came out with a similar palette last winter, last holiday season, and I didn't get it, partly because it was so expensive, and this one is too. But then everyone was raving about it, so I kind of regretted missing the boat on that one. But then I saw a video by Wayne Goss a couple weeks ago. He featured this, did a review, that put this back on my radar. And then a week ago I got an email from Sephora saying that VIB and Rouge reward members were going to have early access to this. It was a bit of an impulse buy in that normally I really think about it because it's $80. Let's just get that out of the way. It's $80. And I mean, I have spent money on cosmetic and beauty products, so, but normally if I'm still going to spend that much, I think about it for a long time. I don't immediately add it to my cart on the Sephora app and purchase it like I did with this. It was a bit of an impulse buy, but I do normally spend the majority of my yearly budget on cosmetics during the holidays because there's so many great holiday palettes and sets that come out. So I just started early with this. Usually limited edition, slapping that on a product is the fastest way to get me to say, nope, not interested. I also don't usually go for things that have a lot of hype, which last year I feel like the palette did have a lot of hype. Everyone was talking about it. Right now there are a few reviews of this, first impressions. I didn't want to look at other reviews and get biased by it. There are definite pros and cons to this. I've been using it, this is probably, I think this is the 4th time using it, but I've only 3 days that I've worn it all day long. So this is slightly more than first impressions, basically is what I'm saying. Also, disclaimer, I'm not a beauty YouTuber. I'm a YouTuber that just happens to do beauty videos from time to time. So this is not going to be the best review of this you'll ever see. But because the onslaught of videos featuring this palette has not hit YouTube yet, I thought it might be nice to get my first impressions up here for some of you guys to see. Like I said, I've only watched the one video so that I haven't been influenced, but I know that we are going to be seeing this a lot throughout the season because that's what happened last year. So my impressions, first impressions, when I got the palette and when I opened it up and I swatched it on my fingers. I'm not going to swatch this for you because my lighting is not good, my camera is not good enough, so you can look at other videos to swatch. I will say when I swatched this just on my fingertips, I was kind of, well, no, I wasn't impressed. Please keep watching the video because this does get more positive, I promise. But what I'm trying to say is when I first swatched it on my fingertips and then on my forearm, I was kind of underwhelmed. It didn't seem worth the $80 price tag. It just seemed it was nice. They were really pretty, but it didn't seem super highly pigmented. It didn't seem like the highlighter wasn't, wow, the way when people swatch like champagne pop. It wasn't like that. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to return it without trying it on my face because that's where it's meant to go. When I put it on my face, completely different reaction. I kind of fell in love with it. I just think that it's very beautiful. It looks great on my skin. Again, my camera and my lighting are not doing this palette justice. In different lighting, it does look really great. And in natural lighting and really great lighting, the colors do pop. And it does have this really beautiful kind of warming, glowy, magic hour look. So it does, I think that's still a bit of a gimmick, but it does get there. It does kind of achieve that result. Pros and cons. Pros. Let's start with the good stuff. The packaging is gorgeous. I mean, this will look great on your dressing table, your bathroom counter, wherever you do your makeup. This will make for great Instagram pictures. I mean, it's gorgeous. The packaging is fantastic. The products are beautiful. The inside is great. The mirror is huge despite how compact the palette is. They didn't waste any space with the mirror, so that's great. The powders themselves are gorgeous. They look beautiful inside the packaging. They work great on the face. They're very light and natural feeling. I don't feel like I'm wearing a ton of powder, even though I did kind of really slap this on. So it's got a very natural feel and a natural finish. I like the flexibility of it. So again, the long one is the finishing powder, so I like that they give you plenty of the finishing powder. And then you've got two blushes, which they say you can use this one here as kind of an all-over flush of color, and then this one as an extra pop. So today I'm wearing the bronzer in the hollows of my cheek and around my hairline, and I've got the lighter blush kind of all over, and then I've got the brighter blush just on the apples of my cheeks. So you can kind of be flexible with that. The highlighter, once it's on, is really great, and I keep looking at myself in the monitor. My lighting really isn't doing this justice, but I love the look of it in pictures and just looking at myself in the mirror and stuff. It really is a beautiful highlighter. It is not champagne pop, it is not Mary Luminizer, it is not any of those. I don't think it's a super high impact, holy crap, wow, she's wearing highlighter look, which is good for me because I don't really go for that, but I guess that would be a con if you are someone that likes that super dramatic highlighter. Another pro for me is I'm really fair, I'm very pale, but this matches and goes on my skin beautifully. The blush is perfect for my skin tone. The highlighter is nice and natural but still gives me a great highlight look. Finishing powder blends in seamlessly. It really does work great as a finishing powder. Other pros that I'm trying to think of, I really do, oh, another pro, I'm actually wearing this on my eyes as well. I'm not sure how well it's going to show up, but it does a really great just natural eye look. I've got the highlighter shade kind of all over the lid, and then the bronzer kind of into the crease, and then I blended out with the finishing powder up onto the brow bone. So for traveling or for just a quick everyday look, I did this look pretty quickly because I used it for my eyes, I used it all over my face, and then I just went in with some eyeliner and some mascara and my brows and then lipstick, and I was done. For traveling, I'd probably not bring any neutral eyeshadows. I'd probably just bring a couple darker shades to be able to do a more dramatic smoky evening look. But for daytime, this covers just about everything. So that was kind of a happy accident. I just thought, you know, let me try this. Let me see if I can get any more uses out of this beyond the face. And I was really happy with how it worked on the eyes. I usually go really simple on the eyes anyway in terms of eyeshadow. I usually don't take the time to do like a really elaborate eye look, especially on a day-to-day basis. So the fact that I can get a full face and eyeshadow, the fact that I only need, in addition to this palette, an eyeliner, which technically is optional, I could have done without that, mascara, brows, and lip, and foundation. Although I haven't tried this, I have done this with fuller coverage and less full coverage. I haven't tried it just over like moisturized skin but no foundation. I'll probably try that tomorrow. But yeah, so pretty flexible and versatile. Overall, I'm really liking this, but there are some drawbacks. So getting into the cons. Huge con right off the bat is definitely the price. $80 is not going to be a doable price point for a lot of people. So it's definitely for a lot of us kind of pick your product. If you're getting this at 80 bucks, you're probably not going to be able to get something else down the road. So you do need to keep that in mind. The price point is definitely, I mean, it's Hourglass. They are a more expensive brand. I will say I need to look up what their average compact goes for. I want to say the one compact that I have, I think it was like $50. So when you think about that, for $30 more, you can get all of this. So if you are interested in purchasing something from Hourglass, I think the price is worth it if you're prepared to spend Hourglass prices. If you are not someone that typically spends more than $20 on a makeup item, this isn't for you. Another con I would say is because of how perfectly I feel like this works on my skin in terms of the color, and because of how fair I am, I'm not sure how this will work on darker skin tones. I've only tested it on me. I haven't seen anyone with a skin color much darker than mine review it yet, just when I was scanning through. So you might want to take a look or try to test this out. If I were, you know, pretty tan from a holiday, I'm not sure how well this would show up. That to me is a con because of how diverse my subscribership is. And I know that I've got people from all over the world and with all different skin tones and colors. Like, I'm not going to say this is a perfect product that everyone has to run out and get, because I honestly don't know how this would work on about half of your skin tones. That's kind of a con. I feel like there are going to be people who will fall in love with this, the look of it, and then it's not going to work for them. So you might want to do some more research on Hourglass's website and see if they've addressed it or not. The picture, you know, the model, she's a bit tan, but that could just be the bronzer that they've used from this. So, you know, I'm not sure. Another slight con is, you know, a pro is definitely how small it is. You know, it's the size of my hand. But as a result, I do have to be careful when I'm getting into the powders to make sure that I'm not blending them all together. And I have noticed that, like with the finishing powder, I sometimes have to then blow the excess out so I don't have a ton of loose powder floating around. So it can be a little bit messy, but that's also probably partly user error, and I just need to get adjusted to using a palette like this. I think that's it. I'm trying to remember if there was anything else. I definitely like it. I'm definitely keeping it, especially now that I know I can use it for eyeshadow as well. I think it's a great palette for day-to-day and for traveling. For holiday looks, I'm not sure. I'd probably use this in addition to some other products. I might use a different highlighter for an evening dramatic look, but overall for day-to-day and for traveling, I do like this. But yeah, I keep coming back to the $80 price point. Like, it's hard for me to recommend products that are that expensive because not all of us can afford it. If you've got $80 to spend at random on whatever strikes your fancy, get it. It's a great palette. I've been following YouTube long enough to know that once the PR reps start sending these out and we see every big YouTuber starting to talk about these, we're gonna hear nothing but the positives. And it's easy to review this product really positively when you haven't paid the $80. But as someone who has paid the $80, it's a great product. I will definitely use this, and I'm happy to have this in my collection. But I'm not going to tell you guys that you have to run out and get it. I mean, it keeps catching my eye in the viewfinder. It's gorgeous, and I am in love, and it's my new makeup baby. So I'm happy with the purchase. But yeah, it's definitely one to research and try to test out, especially if you have a darker skin tone than I do, which most of the world does because I'm pretty pale. I do like how this warms up my face. I don't look dead. It does make me look like I've gotten a little bit of sun, but not super bronzy, if that makes sense. And I think it is the finishing powder and the fact that the bronzer is not a super dark bronzer. For us pale people, I think this is a really great palette if you can afford it. But yeah, if you've got more color in your skin, it might not be for you. I'm glad I didn't get the palette last year because it means that I could kind of somewhat justify getting the palette this year. And I do like the combination of the powders this year. I definitely recommend checking it out if you can. It's definitely very versatile. Yeah, $80. I just keep coming back to that. It's 80 bucks. That's a couple nice pairs of shoes. That's 4 $20 lipsticks. Like, so it's kind of pick your product. If you really like face palettes, I think this is going to be a great one. Have you gotten this? If so, I'd love to hear your comments. If you've done a review on this, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Overall, I do genuinely love it. But yeah, as far as recommending it, this is why I don't do review videos. These are hard because I want to be honest with you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what big beauty splurges you've had recently, or like, am I the only one that's just kind of mildly freaked out by the price tag? But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Again, I'm not a beauty YouTuber. I don't do fantastic beauty reviews, so please don't give me a thumbs down because you think I didn't do a good enough job. I'm just a grad student that likes makeup a little bit too much. And yeah, I will see you all in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.